There are a lot of trending topics in the name of this video, and while this isn't a ham-fisted attempt to shove as many buzzwords as I can into a single title, it's also not that. Hello, I'm a journalist. I do journalism. For 8 months a year, I study and perform journalism, and I want to talk about some weirdness in journalism going on right now. If you're watching this video, you probably get your news online. And if you get your news online, your news is inherently linked to internet culture. And internet culture has a thing with being outraged. That outrage is leading to the weirdness that's going on right now. It's a strange, counterproductive problem that leads to the people that we are outraged at getting long-term upper hands, while in the short term we feel satisfied with whatever justice the internet deals out. It helped get the President of the United States elected, and it's what skyrockets reprehensible people into the limelight. Let's have a chat about infamy, why being objectively a bad person is going to make you money. And to do this, let's look at some news articles. First, and most recently, there's the case of the Instagram model Christian Burns verbally assaulting a security guard during VidCon. The assault was covered by several YouTube news sources that look for controversies to garner attention from. Watch the video. It is
But you're unfamous, you're not. So that doesn't make you any better. I have a lot more money than you. You're not famous, you're relevant. You're right.
hard not to have it elicit an emotional reaction. Here is a kid insulting a blue-collar worker, a kid that is in many ways emblematic of a perceived problem eating away at society. That youth are narcissistic, entitled, whiny, spoiled. The attractive are treated as gods and view themselves as gods, and when they brag about the fact that they are gods, we spew vitriol at them because partially we know they're right. When this kid brags about being famous, we partially know that he's right, so we want to vilify him. And we do. This guy is truly reprehensible. He deserves vilification, but he won. Today, Christian Burns has 500,000 Instagram followers. Overnight, he became 2,500% more famous than he was before that video. Let me say that again, okay? He won. There is a certain nearsightedness that occurs online when a target is the victim of ridicule or rage. There is the initial wave of hatred, nasty stuff, death threats and anger, mockery and reporting, reaction videos, H3H3 videos, Philip DeFranco videos, drama alert videos, scarce videos, news releases, more outrage, their name blows up on Google, and then the hate disappears. And what's left is the fans of that person, the new fans that stuck around after the wave of the outrage has left. Maybe I'm not explaining myself properly here. Let me give you an example, okay? There is a woman called Nicole Arbour. Maybe you've heard of her, maybe you haven't. If you haven't, don't look her up. But the fact that I know her name means that somewhere along the line, she won the battle of attention. In the battle between the internet's outrage and her public image, she won. Let me explain. A few years ago, Nicole Arbour made a video called Dear Fat People. It basically tore to shreds anyone that was overweight. It was shitty and unfunny, mean-spirited, and Arbour herself admitted that she only made it to generate outrage. And it did. People were all over her, dissing her, reaction videos, Grey the Under A had a big thing with her, blah 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 blah. And then people forgot about her. Guess what happened? Nicole Arbour is now extremely famous, because when we're outraged, we share the outrage with our friends. The other day, I saw a shitty Nicole Arbour video on my Facebook feed, because one of my well-intentioned friends thought that she was a reprehensible human being and wanted to tell all of her Facebook friends. So she shared it, she said, what a reprehensible human being or whatever, and then she got 10 likes, and then she shared that video with everybody that she knew, and then everybody who liked that video saying that she was reprehensible knew. Do you see the problem? Okay, if you're offended by something, and someone's being shitty and terrible, and you share that video and you say, this person's being shitty and terrible, shame them, you give them more power, attention, and money. And I don't really know what to do about that. The problem doesn't stop there. Even if you share someone being shitty and terrible, not everyone's going to agree with you that they are being shitty and terrible. Some of your friends might like shitty, mean-spirited, unfunny videos. They see Nicole Arbour's trash and they think, oh, this is pretty funny. Oh, I'll give this a big ol' like-a-roo. And this is why we're kind of fucked. Because what is worse, witnessing a video like Christian Burns and not reporting on it at all? Or witnessing the very same video and reporting on it and telling people about it so that they get outraged and then they help him We're fucked because we're inherently dominated by attention whores. There's literally no way around this. Hard work will always fall to the wayside to someone who is willing to shout louder and spew more profanity and be more embarrassing and outrageous. Fuck! Attention is power. Humans do not have unlimited attention. We are small. We have tiny frames of references. We stick to those tiny frames of references for most of our lives. It is very hard for us to focus on a topic for a very long period of time. We forget. This isn't a very well-organized argument, but bear with me. Let's do an example. Let's say I have a fan base of 10,000 people. 10,000 people know about me. They all have pretty good emotional reactions towards me. They don't love me, but they don't hate me. Now let's say I do something crazy and hateful and stupid. Let's say I'm a Ku Klux Klan member. I'm a neo-Nazi. I have a swastika scarred into my forehead, okay? 9,000 people are pissed off at me, sure. But, I mean, 500 are just, like, enjoying the show, and the other, maybe 250 are actually neo-Nazis. Well, look at me. Look at me go. Now I have 250 very dedicated fans and 9,000 people who hate my guts. Awesome, because those 9,000 people are going to share my videos and be like, look at this fucker saying that all these neo-Nazi bullshit stuff. Do you see what I'm getting at? Look. Would I rather be loved or hated? Obviously, I'd rather be loved. But as a human being, on trying to get attention on the internet, it's better to be hated than it is to be liked. You know the Machiavellian quote, "It is better to be feared than loved." That is so true. It's now better to be hated than liked. Because if someone likes you, they'll consume your content maybe, but they're not going to share it on the internet. But if someone hates you, they will. And that's how you become famous and popular and successful. And that's why you get all these dicks like Logan Paul or Christian Burns who are now extremely successful and popular. And nobody gives a fuck, because after the outrage comes in and leaves, that's it. That's all that matters to people. Nobody is more indicative of the flames of outrage than Donald Trump, but I'm not going to talk about him because I don't want to get eviscerated. I want to talk about someone else. I want to talk about Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer is it's 2017. Let me just show you a video. Basically, Laura Loomer is Laura Loomer calls herself a journalist in the same way some people on Tumblr call themselves unicorns. She paired up with a person who didn't like the play to interrupt the play. The play featured Donald Trump as Julius Caesar in Shakespeare's play, Julius Caesar. Donald Trump was assassinated. I like fucking what happens in Shakespeare. And they didn't like that, so they interrupted the play to protest. Loomer was arrested. So far, so good. But oh wait, shit, now she's viral. You see where this is going. 90% of people think what Laura Loomer did was dumb, even people who support Donald Trump. She violated the actor's freedom of speech, but also she was seeing a political move against her candidate where none really existed. This is very disturbing to me, first off, because Laura Loomer calls herself a journalist, but then also intentionally causes the controversy that creates the news, which is the equivalent of me putting a kid in a dangerous situation just so I can report on the firefighters that saved the kid, which, by the way, journalists have done this in the past. It's hilarious. Look it up. The point is, okay, look, even if 90% of people hate you and think you're terrible, it doesn't matter if it's on the internet. Because realistically, think about it. What are people going to do? Send you an Instagram message saying, "Kill yourself, a scrub"? No. Loomer knew this would create controversy. She knew people didn't want to talk about her after she pulled the stunt. She had a GoFundMe page created before she was even arrested, showing that she knew that she would be creating all this controversy and that she knew what she was doing. All of this to defend a president whose rise to fame was eerily similar to what I've been describing before. If you can get a huge swath of people to hate you and think you're crazy and a joke, you are still getting people to listen to you. People have really short attention spans. If you say something that pisses someone off one day, and then they tune into you the next day and you say something they like, all they're going to remember is that you said something that they like. Your most fervent haters are going to become your biggest supporters. Look, these examples are all kind of heavy. Let's just look at one dude more, okay? Jake Paul. Think Christian Burns, but actually famous. He made a video. It's called "It's Everyday, Bro." If you haven't heard of it, then you probably haven't made it this far into the video because you actually have a life, but here's a clip just in case. It's a shit video. It's made by a shit person. Classically reprehensible. But at least half of its popularity was spurred on because it was bad. Basically, if you make a piece of art that's shitty in just the right way, you can make that art more successful than genuinely good art. I can slave away for years on a perfect piece of art that nobody will look at twice, but if I slapdash some art that gets people talking about it, then I can blow up and become a viral. All of this leads me to ask, what do journalists do about these stories? Outrage is attention, attention is money. If you can get enough eyes on you, it doesn't matter how you got them there. Outrage is power, power is money. Fuck. I don't know, man. I don't know. There's no clear-cut answer here. This isn't even a good fucking video essay. Don't even listen to me. What am I doing? Listen to me. What am